One quiet misstep in the kitchen, one uneven step on the stairs, and life can change in seconds. Not because the body is weak, but because balance, that silent guardian of independence, has slowly faded without notice. After 60, falls are not accidents of fate. They are often signals, subtle messages from muscles, nerves, and the inner ear asking for attention. Balance is not a single skill. It is a conversation between the brain, the muscles, the eyes, and a tiny structure deep inside the ear called the vestibular system. Every time you stand upright, millions of nerve impulses travel through the spinal cord. The soles of your feet send feedback about pressure. Your joints report their angle. Your eyes confirm orientation, and your brain integrates all of it in milliseconds. Aging does not stop this process, but it slows its precision. Muscle fibers shrink. Reaction time lengthens. Sensory signals become quieter. The result is not weakness alone, it is delayed coordination. The first key practice is the simplest: standing on one leg near a stable surface. At first glance, it appears almost too modest to matter. Yet beneath this quiet posture, an intricate biological symphony begins to play. When one foot leaves the ground, the body immediately senses instability. Tiny mechanoreceptors in the sole of the standing foot detect subtle changes in pressure. The ankle makes microscopic adjustments. The calf muscles engage reflexively. Higher up, the hip stabilizers, especially the gluteus medius, activate to prevent the pelvis from tilting. What feels like stillness from the outside is, in reality, a continuous cascade of neural corrections. This single leg stance strengthens more than muscle fibers, it sharpens communication between the peripheral nerves and the brain. The cerebellum, responsible for coordination, becomes more precise with repetition. Reaction time improves. The body learns to respond faster to shifts that might otherwise lead to a fall. For adults over 60, this retraining is essential because aging often dulls proprioception, the internal sense of where the body exists in space. By challenging balance in a safe, supported way, we stimulate dormant neural pathways and encourage adaptive plasticity. The presence of a stable surface, a wall, a chair, a countertop, is not a sign of weakness but of wisdom. Safety allows confidence, and confidence allows consistency. Over time, what begins as 10 uncertain seconds evolves into steady control, reinforcing ankle resilience, hip stability, and postural awareness in ways that translate directly into safer walking and turning movements throughout daily life. The second essential movement is the heel, toe walk. It resembles a slow, deliberate stroll along an invisible line. Yet within this simple pattern lies a powerful recalibration of the body's equilibrium system. By placing the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other, the base of support narrows dramatically. The brain immediately recognizes this reduced margin for error and heightens its attentional focus. Muscles along the ankles and lower legs respond first, making subtle corrective contractions. The knees and hips follow, adjusting alignment to keep the center of gravity steady over a shifting foundation. This movement refines coordination between the visual system, the vestibular apparatus of the inner ear, and proprioceptive sensors embedded in muscles and joints. Each careful step requires predictive control. The brain must anticipate instability before it fully occurs. In adults over 60, this anticipatory response often slows due to age-related changes in nerve conduction and sensory clarity. Practicing heel-to-toe walking stimulates neural circuits responsible for timing and precision, encouraging them to operate with greater efficiency. There is also a cognitive dimension to this exercise. Because it demands concentration, it strengthens the link between attention and motor control. Divided focus is a common contributor to falls. This practice retrains the mind to stay present with movement. When performed slowly, near a wall or sturdy surface for reassurance, the exercise builds confidence alongside stability. Over time, the nervous system adapts to the challenge, improving gait symmetry, postural alignment, and the ability to recover from minor disturbances encountered in everyday walking environments. The third exercise is the sit-to-stand transition. It may seem like an ordinary daily action, yet physiologically it is one of the most demanding movements the body performs. Rising from a seated position requires coordinated activation of the quadriceps, gluteal muscles, hamstrings, and deep core stabilizers. The center of gravity shifts forward, and for a brief moment the body balances between sitting and standing, a vulnerable midpoint where many falls occur. Training this transition strengthens not only muscles but also timing and motor sequencing. As the torso leans slightly forward, the brain calculates force production with remarkable precision. Too little force and the body hesitates. Too much and balance is compromised. In adults over 60, muscle power, the ability to generate force quickly, declines more rapidly than muscle strength alone. Practicing controlled sit to stand movements restores this power in a safe, functional way. It reinforces the neural pathways that govern rapid engagement of the lower body while demanding postural stability through the spine. Equally important is the element of independence embedded in this motion. The ability to rise without using the hands reflects lower body resilience and coordinated control. When performed slowly at first, with mindful attention to alignment and breathing, this exercise retrains balance during transitional phases of movement. Over time, repetition enhances joint stability in the knees and hips, improves circulation through active muscle engagement, and sharpens proprioceptive awareness, making everyday actions like getting out of a chair, stepping out of a car, or rising from bed safer and more controlled. Fourth, gentle side leg raises. This movement appears minimal, almost understated, yet it targets one of the most critical regions for lateral stability, the hips. When the leg moves outward to the side, the body must resist the natural tendency to lean. The standing leg becomes an anchor, and the muscles along the outer hip engage to keep the pelvis level. Chief among them is the gluteus medius, a muscle often underused in daily life but essential for preventing sideways imbalance. Sideways falls are particularly dangerous because they frequently impact the hip joint, an area vulnerable to fracture in older adults. Strengthening the hip abductors enhances control during walking, especially when shifting weight from one leg to the other. Every step we take is essentially a controlled single leg stance, and without sufficient lateral strength, the pelvis can drop subtly with each stride. Over time, this instability increases fatigue and compromises balance. During gentle side leg raises, the nervous system also participates actively. The brain refines motor control to lift the leg without rotating the torso or collapsing the standing knee. Small stabilizing muscles around the ankle and core respond automatically to maintain alignment. Performing the movement slowly while holding onto a stable surface reinforces safe mechanics and prevents compensatory patterns. Consistency transforms this modest action into meaningful protection. As hip strength improves, posture becomes more upright, gait becomes steadier, and the body develops a stronger defense against sudden lateral shifts, uneven surfaces, or unexpected obstacles encountered during everyday movement. And finally, the fifth keynote, weight shifting with awareness. This exercise may appear deceptively simple, yet it engages some of the most subtle and powerful systems of human balance. By deliberately transferring weight from one foot to the other, forward and backward, the body is asked to sense and respond to changes in its center of gravity. The soles of the feet, rich with sensory receptors, communicate continuously with the spinal cord and brain, signaling pressure, orientation, and movement. These signals are integrated by the cerebellum, which coordinates muscles across the legs, hips, and core to maintain equilibrium. When practiced mindfully, weight shifting retrains the nervous system to anticipate imbalance and respond before a fall occurs. With aging, proprioception, the body's internal sense of position, naturally declines, making even familiar movements feel less stable. Conscious weight shifting revives this sense, sharpening awareness of where the body is in space and how it interacts with gravity. It strengthens ankle, knee, and hip stabilizers while encouraging coordination between upper and lower body, refining posture and gait simultaneously. The act is almost meditative. Each transfer of weight is observed and controlled, each subtle wobble acknowledged and corrected, enhancing both physical and cognitive engagement. This practice also builds confidence. By repetitively experiencing small, safe shifts in balance, the body learns to tolerate instability without panic. The neuromuscular system becomes more adaptable, capable of responding to sudden disturbances encountered in everyday life. Over time, these intentional movements cultivate a sense of groundedness, reinforcing not just strength, but the harmony between awareness, motion, and the environment. Balance is not about avoiding fragility, it is about cultivating responsiveness. The human body remains adaptable well into later decades. Muscles respond to stimulus. Neurons strengthen with repetition. Even at 70 or 80, the nervous system can reorganize itself when gently challenged. Falls are often framed as inevitable. They are not. They are biological outcomes influenced by inactivity, diminished reflexes, and untrained stability. When seniors engage in consistent balance exercises at home, they are not merely preventing injury, they are preserving autonomy, protecting dignity, and honoring the remarkable adaptability of the human organism. In the end, balance is not just physical alignment, it is a relationship between awareness and movement. And when we train it with patience and curiosity, we are not fighting age. We are partnering with the body, guiding it towards steadiness, one intentional step at a time.